Okay, it's a little bit windy, so bear with me, but I'm trying to go over some evidence, which I think is a little bit weird and strange. So initially, the witness, who was the only person out here at the time who seen the fire actually ignite, yeah, I'll touch more base on that in a minute. But anyway, the fire was pointed to the police department and the chief of the fire department that the fire started here. This is on the neighbor's side. Right here, said it was right here between the pipes. Okay, now this pipe, that pipe were here. These two pipes have been rusted. That one actually looks the same. There's no, even to the pipe further down, you can see here, there's no sign of anything happening to this pipe. Okay, now let's keep in mind the car here. It rained last night. Okay. Look at how this rusted. Okay, that rusted immediately. Okay, let's go look at the vet. Okay, the Corvette here, you can see right there, there's signs of rust. There's rust. All right there is rusted out. Okay, this is all metal. This is all, you know, there you go, right there, boom, there's some more rust. All right, now let's continue on. Okay, the Camaro, which was not in flames that long, body is already rusting. And also, let's keep in mind, there's my exhaust pipe. Okay, brand new pipe. That's got rust on it. Okay, so the finish has been torn from this pipe. The cars, the vet. Okay, which even now, let's go even further deeper into this. That table's rusted. Okay, everything metal that could have rust on it right now from being inflamed and having the finish torn is rusted. Okay, but not the pipe, which is where the fire was accused of actually initially starting, which leads me to believe that something more is going on here. I've been gathering evidence for this entire scene, and not anybody has been out here helping. I haven't had help from the fire department. I haven't had help from the police. Insurance hasn't even come out yet for the property or for the cars, which is totally ridiculous. And I've been out here every day gathering as much information as I can on this based upon what I can see. And I've also had friends out here gathering information based upon what they see. And these are also people that have had experience, you know, either being in the police department or fire department, or, you know, whatever it may be that their background is. They've been here. Okay. Now, I have video footage as well, which, you know, you guys have seen the initial fire start, and you can see I filmed from right over here. All right, so we're gonna replay a little bit. We're gonna walk over this way, and we're gonna replay this a little bit. So, okay, I stood right here, and this is where I filmed. Okay, the tree was right here, which you can see was blocking. Okay, but how much of the tree really blocked? Because if the fire had initially started right here, you would have seen the leaves on fire, which you did see the ring here. Initially, when I came down, the fire dripped, came down and started the ring. Okay, so if this initial spot was on fire first, the leaves out here would have been on fire. You would have seen any indication of a fire, but you can see that the fire is up here in the video. It's up on the roof. It's coming out the window. Okay, you can see the ground, it was spreading. Okay, so if it had started here, it would have went that way. Now, garage was the first lit, Camaro came second, then this car caught. That truck, the front melted a little bit. So again, if the fire had started right here, this damage would have been a lot worse. So in my findings, I am seeing that this is actually not the location of where the fire was. My suspicion, is that the fire was up front. And I do have good reason for this. I do have my theories on why I believe the fire was up front. Now, even if you were to look on Facebook, which I'm not going to out anybody's names, you know, first off, the initial witness, you have stories that didn't make sense. Everybody in my apartment unit here got a different story on what they saw. Now keep in mind, this was the only person out here at this time. Nobody's ever out here at night like that. We don't have any mischief. But this person just so happened to randomly be back here when this happened. And, you know, to furthermore this, I'm going to go back here again. Okay, so what nobody knows except me and this person. There was the two bays, okay? So there's, right here, is the, that's where the wood was. That's the separating pole. So we have the first, the second, okay? My lock that was guarding the vet jammed and it wouldn't shut. So I took it, I put it on this side, and I took the good lock, put it on this side, which happens to be that lock right there. Okay. This side was unlocked. Said person that was down here the night of the fire actually confirmed with me that they came down. For some reason, they saw it smoldering. So it wasn't even on fire at this point, it was smoldering. And they opened the door to go inside to look to see if anything inside was in flames, which apparently it wasn't, and it was just here, smoldering. However, if you look on the Facebook post and ask a couple other people who have, you know, been told stories, then it turns into, oh, well, the fire was a foot long and it was a couple inches high. Okay, so let's say it was right here, okay? There's a foot, all right? That's not a big fire, okay? And there's no way in hell that this entire garage just flamed that fast. This damage doesn't happen from a small fire, okay? Because if it actually engulfed that quickly, then there would have been so much more damage done, it wouldn't have been fun. So, more to touch base on that. You'll see in my photo, which I will have to walk back this way for. My initial shoot, which was up there, I washed my car previously that day and got lazy because that's what I do. Ground gets muddy and I don't want to roll it up. You know, here's where we keep the hose. But due to the fire, it got pulled back here as I tried to pull it back. Anyway, you'll actually see on the, you know, this shot where it was inflamed, you'll actually see the hose was running right there and it was right to the car. So the hose was easily accessible the entire time. There's also, because they have their fire pits which were not active for a good week. And we've already ruled over with the fire department that they were not in use. But again, if it started right there, there's a shovel, okay? Dirt could have been thrown on, all right? Easy problem solved. So, initially I'm trying to find out why this was even allowed to ignite the way that it did. Okay, that's my first problem. And if it was allowed to ignite the way it did, if there is no mischief back here, if there was no active God, then how did it ignite? Okay, how do we know that the person who initially saw the fire start wasn't in fact the person who accidentally set the fire ablaze? How do we know? Because the story has changed multiple times. How do we know? Because the accused area of being inflamed wasn't the area being inflamed. You know, how do we know that there is some suspicion here with our initial story on how this happened? So, let's thank the police department and the fire department for actually coming out here and finding out all this evidence that I found on my own. Let's thank them for, you know, coming out every day and allowing it to rain and, you know, wash away some of the stuff. You know, let's thank everybody for not coming out and doing their job and not, you know, actually, you know, coming here and trying to investigate and find out what the hell happened. let's thank everybody for me coming out here and being the person to piece all this together.